Welcome to Sarah Wood's Tale, where stories comes alive. Please do well to hit that subscription button and turn on your notification bell for subsequent stories. Final story of the office cleaner that swept into his heart, Part 3. Eleanor tried to move on, but every time she passed Horizon Enterprises, a pang of sadness hit her chest. She had lost her job. But worse than that, she had lost him. She found work at a small restaurant, wiping tables and serving food. It paid less, but it was enough to survive. Meanwhile, Dominic was miserable. His office felt empty. His coffee tasted bitter. His world, once filled with power and success, now felt meaningless. "You made a mistake, boss," Grace, the HR manager, told him one evening. Dominic looked up. "Excuse me." "Eleanor didn't care about your money. She cared about you." The words hit him like a punch to the gut. He had let the only woman who truly saw him walk away. And he couldn't let that be the end. Dominic tried to find Eleanor, but she had disappeared. "Sir, we checked her old apartment. She moved out. Her phone is disconnected." His frustration grew. He went to the only person who might know, Grace. "Tell me where she is," he demanded. Grace crossed her arms. "Why should I? You broke her heart." Dominic's jaw tightened. "Because I love her." Silence. For the first time, Grace saw something rare in his eyes, desperation. With a sigh, she handed him an address. "Don't mess this up." Dominic took the paper and left immediately. It was time to win Eleanor back. Eleanor was finishing her shift when she heard a commotion outside the restaurant. Then, she saw him. Dominic stood outside, dressed in a crisp suit, looking completely out of place in the crowded street. Her heart clenched. Slowly, she walked outside. "What are you doing here?" His eyes softened. "I came for you." A crowd started forming around them, but Dominic didn't care. "I was wrong," he said. "I let them scare me into pushing you away. But I don't care about my company, my reputation, or anything else, if I don't have you." Tears welled in Eleanor's eyes. "You hurt me, Dominic." Pain flashed in his expression. "I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you." Then, he got down on one knee. The crowd gasped. "I don't want you to be my cleaner, Eleanor. I want you to be my partner. My equal. My future." He pulled out a small envelope. "I got you a business scholarship. You said you wanted more for yourself. Now you can have it." Eleanor's breath hitched. "You'd do that for me." "I'd do anything for you." She stared at him, at the man who had once been cold and unreachable, now standing before her, vulnerable. And suddenly, she knew he was worth the risk. With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "Yes." Dominic pulled her into his arms, and the crowd cheered. And for the first time in their lives, both of them knew what true happiness felt like. Eleanor started her business classes while continuing to work part-time. Dominic, true to his word, didn't treat her as someone beneath him. He encouraged her, supported her, and stood by her side. They no longer hid their love. Horizon Enterprises whispered, but this time, Dominic didn't care. He had fought for power all his life. But now, he had finally found something worth more. And as Eleanor sat beside him, watching the sunset, she smiled. She had once been just a cleaner. But now, she was the woman who had swept a billionaire into her heart. The end. If you missed out on any video, you can check the previous videos to catch up, and please don't forget to subscribe to get more interesting stories like this.